Welcome to KSP. Today we're going to try one of the historic missions that's included with Mission Control 2, and that is the Agena Target Vehicle orbital test. This is a recreation of the Gemini Program's ATV testing, in which they had to practice linking up with something in orbit and then doing some orbital maneuvers with it and stuff like that. So what I have to do is basically make a probe ship. I have to throw it in orbit, like a 200 kilometer orbit. I gotta have a docking port on it so I can dock with it later. It has to be probe driven. So let's accept that mission, because I can do that for about that much money. And a little bit of bonus science, not a whole bunch, but yeah, this will be nice and cheap. So I do not have anything built for this, so you all gotta sit through a boring VAB build session, but that's okay. So we'll take the small probe core here, we'll toss it on there like so. We will throw on, I think we'll do some batteries first. Why not a quick science tab? We'll throw on a battery, throw on advanced inline reaction wheel, I keep calling them SAS modules. I'll throw on a docking port. Maybe I'll try this with a small docking port, because why not? Should I get fancy with this? I have an urge to get fancy with it. So yeah, we'll do that. And then we will toss on docking port junior. I'll send a small capsule up to dock with this thing. Okay, what else do I want? I definitely need some sort of fuel supply. Nothing too big. I'm thinking that'll work. And then we'll toss on one of these 90 foot-pound or 90 kilonewton engines on there. Actually, what I'll do first, I'll toss on, that's too big. Some RCS propellants, because the ATV had RCS on it. Toss on, let's do 2 of these guys, and 2 of these guys here on the battery. Okay, and then I need an antenna for this thing. Well, we'll just leave one of these on it. Fairly short range. And then we will toss on some solar panels. And that should be it. This is the Agena Target Vehicle. Lifter is going to be easier. ATV. Save. Now, when I said I wanted to get fancy with this, I want to mess with fairings. I wonder if that's actually going to count as a decoupler. I don't have a warm fuzzy, it will. So let's go ahead and make sure. Alright, so aerodynamic. Where's my nose cone? Oh, really? You're kidding me, right? Maybe I could use expanding base for that. Okay, that will do it. I gotta make sure to do take 2 things on it. Oh, darn it. Crumbs, Control Z. work. Oh, you passed. Okay, there it is. Okay, that is my nice shroudified vehicle. All that mess can get deployed at once. So now I need a lifter. He'll do. We'll use the 230 Wildcat. Okay, that's not enough. I need some sort of side lifter for that. Let's get rid of one. What's my TWR for that? Plenty. Not really sufficient. I need side boosters. So let's use some of these A's coupler decouplers here. 2 of them. Back to these little side booster side tanks here. I'll do 2 of those. And then we'll toss in 2 Wildcats. Okay, done. Okay, that's kind of hot on my TWR. I could actually go with something smaller. Yeah, let's do something a little more manageable. Let's do these 90 pound units, 90 kilonewton units. And I want some strut connectors. And what I also think I'll do just for giggles, despite not really needing to do it, toss in some nose cones. And we will toss on some... Where'd they go? The problem with having a bunch of parts is you start running into issues sorting out all those parts. Go like that. Okay, so that should lever them away from the side there. These have a pretty good ejection force. There's beefier ones, but I really don't have that much rocket for that. So yes, this is the ATV. And I need to put this into a 200 kilometer orbit. That's easy enough. I don't know how that could possibly go wrong. Yeah, actually looks like a proper rocket for a change. I usually don't mess with fairings, aerodynamic parts, or anything else because I don't run far or near. I really don't see the point. But I decided let's do it anyway. There's no harm in doing it. Now because I have the engine bolted to the smaller tank, I shouldn't have to worry about it overheating. The way heat flow works in the game is kind of wonky. Jumbo Max 64 tanks and mainsails will always overheat unless you have the Jumbo Max 64 tank not directly attached to the mainsail because of how distances from the center of gravity of each part and some other garbage, which I'm not too sure how that works. Really over-engined this time. Well, now we are. I'm not going to make it to gravity term before I get rid of these stages, which is fine because I really don't feel like blowing these off right in the middle of gravity term. So let's hope this works. Yeah, that could have been bad. It's like they almost wanted to touch. If it wasn't for those boosters, I would have had a bad day. I didn't check before I left the VAB how much this thing cost. Alright, you see here my ETA to apoapsis is holding steady at 24.5 seconds, and that's just beginning to go up. That means this thing is pretty weakly engined. It's just barely sufficient to get out of its own way, so to speak. There's my little island airstrip probe. This is no good as a relay since it's not actually... Actually, this isn't good. Well, this is good for relay because it's got connection with one of my relay stations in geosync. But that little probe up there is not good for anything. I wanted to see how small I could make a little drop probe and make it all cute and stuff, and it worked. Okay, so now we can step into our fairing. That's a really snug fit, isn't it? So let's run the stage completely out. Because I gotta get to 200 kilometers. I have to program this thing to do it. I can see the launch complex, so I'm still good. Oh boy, I'm not even gonna have enough. That looked a little sketchy, didn't it? Yes, it did. Okay, well, we're done. That worked fine. That was lovely. Oh, wow. Okay. Anything broke on my spacecraft? Fairing. Okay, yeah. Nothing important broke. Proceed with the mission. That was impressive. Okay, let's kick out our AP to the 200 node. Execute. Once I come around ground control again, I can program out the maneuver to kick out my PE from here out. So I have to worry about comms. Okay. Okay, so 203 and 198. So I actually gotta adjust that node. There we go. Execute. Okay. Do our burn. And then, no, I don't have comms with KSC anymore, so I can't program the next maneuver. That's okay. I've still got plenty of Delta V. Alright, that is within the target parameters. Yep. Max AP is within specs. Now I gotta change my PE once I come around again for another communications pass with KSC. I can program that maneuver. So let's hurry up and do that. Yeah, I don't have anything in low Kerbin orbit to act as a low orbit relay for something low powered like this. I was experimenting with low powered relays, much like this one, on my sandbox mode. But yeah, okay, so now that I got comms with the ground, I can tell it, plug in this maneuver. Alright, that's going to knock out my AP too much. 199,202. I believe that's within specs. Yes, it is. So, node. Execute. here, 78 meters per second. And we'll have to do that maneuver while it is out of sight with KSC. Oh, that's something. Well, I do have enough battery power. I should anyway. That battery, the antenna doesn't take a whole lot of transmission voltage to run. Current. Yeah, it's not dropping that fast. And I got paid. Congratulations, you successfully launched your Agena Target Vehicle. Now you must get your manned orbital vehicle to dock with the ATV. The Gemini Agena Target Vehicle design was an adaptation of the basic Agena D vehicle using alternate model 8247 rocket engine, blah 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 blah. Okay, a whole bunch of stuff here. You can go Wikipedia it if you like. There's lots and lots of cool stuff about it, how they dealt with figuring out how maneuvering works. So all those veteran or new players that don't know how rendezvousing works in KSP, you're amongst good company, because even astronauts had no idea how to do it when they first tried. Yeah, 200 and 202. Pretty good. Alright, so that is a wrap for this mission. Maybe next mission I will either do something with my min-miss activity, or I will play around with this little guy. Thanks for watching.